Started off hot.
Yeah.
Started off high. A little high octane.
High octane.
Yeah.
Hired Guns.
Yeah, here on 4680Q.
Yes. One of the many bands Mike Markarian is
Yes.
in.
Many bands. Too much to mention, I think. A lot of bands.
But for now, we are going to introduce him as Mike Markarian from DIZZY REX.
Yeah, that 70s rock show.
Yeah.
Mike?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
We'll start off with that.
Yeah.
And then move on to the other stuff.
Yeah, we got a
have
bunch of
lots-
stuff, man.
because
We
you got
go
lots to
down a
talk
deep
about.
dive of Mike Markarian bands. We could do a whole show, maybe 2 shows on the
Yeah.
bands.
I'm not
Pretty
sure
much.
where you guys are going to take me here. Hopefully I'm ready.
I'm not ready. I'm
There
not
you
ready.
are.
Anyways,
You
big
wrote
show
everything
coming
down.
up New Year's Eve, and that's
Yeah.
where a lot of the bands are performing. But this one in particular, Dizzy Rex and that 70s rock show will be at CHIP&CHARLIE'S
CHIP&CHARLIE'S.
for New Year's Eve, and Mike, you
Which
must
is
be
right
feeling
on
good.
Lundy's Lane.
Yes,
Yeah.
Niagara
indeed.
Falls, close to Kaler Road.
That little charm on the lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, they've got a great night mapped out as well, and yeah, we're really stoked to be at CHIP&CHARLIE'S New Year's Eve. It's our debut gig there too, so
It is?
quite
Yeah.
the way to
Oh, wow.
start. Of course, I've been there on rotation
Yes.
with Slider, but for the Dizzy dudes, it's our debut.
It's our first, man. But
Yeah.
but we've seen Dizzy Rex over the
Over
past
the
little
years.
while, over the years, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
You know,
almost becoming that. Yeah.
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 In the territory, in the region, playing
Yeah.
a number of different venues, and the band keeps moving up and up and up, getting a lot of bookings. Everybody loves this 70s rock show. Everybody loves to come in and hear a band that does strictly 70s music, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't vary from that. We don't vary from the formula. Like, you know, it's funny. I mean, you can see tributes, say an 80s tribute or whatnot, and there's like, oh, that's about 8 songs from the 70s so far tonight. No, we don't do that. It's
Yes.
like it's 70 to 79.
Yes, yes, and I'm not asking you to give away the set list, but I've heard a lot of set lists before. Like, what are some of them? What are some of them? Because there's some rarities, really,
Yeah, like
that bands don't play in there.
it's a fine
Like, there's some
line,
Alice
and it's
Cooper, there's some Aerosmith,
100%.
Like, you're talking the 70s Aerosmith, the 70s Alice Cooper. You're
Oh
talking
yeah,
the good
yeah.
stuff.
Like,
man.
I mean, we're talking about 70s Aerosmith. There's no dude looks like a lady in
No.
the set list. It's
Yeah.
70s dirty, drug and booze fueled Aerosmith.
yeah,
Like, the
some
awesome
old school
stuff.
AC/DC, like the Bon
Yes.
Scott era.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Of AC/DC,
yeah.
you know. So that is something to look forward to. That's stuff that I like.
All like real rock.
Real rock.
Yeah, real
Not-
rock and roll.
From real rock.
70s, you know,
It's-
hippy dippy stuff. It's 70s rock.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's not, you know, we don't want to scare people away either. It's not
No.
it's not overly obscure or anything.
not
These
at
are
all.
songs
No, yeah.
these are songs that everyone knows and loves. And it's just that we've dug a little deeper with some of the stuff, like, you know, for instance, instead of the song being the first single off the album, it might be the second or
Yes.
third single
Yes.
off the album. It's still a song you all know,
Yes.
but it might not be the most obvious one.
Yes,
You
but
know?
that's what I enjoy about
Yeah.
the 70s rock show with Dizzy Rex. That's what I enjoy is you're getting some stuff like, hey, I haven't heard this in quite a long time. It's still a great song. Mm-hmm.
Or you never hear this live.
No.
Yeah, or you know, you just it's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point because, you know, there's so many songs. I mean, but you know, for instance, for whatever reason, one reason or another, you're around the scene and you're noticing, like, you know what? I've never heard a band do this particular Aerosmith tune. You know, or whatever. Like in our case, we do "Chip Away the Stone."
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
love that.
a known song, but it's not, you know, something that's super obvious.
It's
right?
it's one of those I've never heard a band do that.
Yeah,
Aerosmith
you know,
song.
I have in the past, but
Very
not
rarely.
anything, you know, in recent years.
And the other thing is something like Chip Away at the Stone, you know, I hate to say it this way, but I don't know how else to say it. It's not heavily played on the radio anymore.
Not
You know,
really.
So it's kind of like a
It
throwback.
was,
Yeah, it was
you
back
know.
in the day. It was
Yeah.
a huge hit. It's still a huge hit as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, with music changing,
you
especially
rarely
from the
hear it.
70s on, yeah, you don't hear much of that anymore. And I think this is what a lot of the audience appreciates it doesn't matter what era, like what age they are, because a lot of the, shall I say, older people, like, baby boomer generation have listened to that, grown up with that, but the younger generation likes it too. That's what makes for a great show, because the room gets packed with people that just love music like that. Chip Away the Stone and the old Alice Cooper, the old Bon Scott, AC/DC era. And I've heard you pull a few surprises out every now and again.
But I mean, it's it's Bowie, it's the list goes on and on. Zeppelin, and it's it's all stuff that's known, but we do take a few left turns, like Jay said. We like to, we're going to give you a song like "Chip Away the Stone." Yeah. Not to give away the set list too much. No. Say, for instance, we do Elton John. We do "Bitches Back" from Elton John, right?
Nice.
Yeah. We're not doing "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road." We're doing "Bitches Back," real rockin' Elton John.
Yeah.
So
now you've played over the years. You've been in many bands, as we said before, and you played a lot of New Year's shows.
I have, yeah.
But this show here with Dizzy Rex, this is going to be the first at Chip&CHARLIE'S?
It's Dizzy Rex's first show, period, at Chip&CHARLIE'S.
Yeah.
We did do New Year's Eve last year as well. We're in our infancy, and we've already, it's going to be our second New Year's Eve gig. So
the band
that's been pretty cool.
Quite a bit. Yeah. The band's had a lot of bookings, and I love it. And
let's talk more about the band.
Okay.
Who's in the band with you? Oh, you're lead singer, obviously.
Yeah, bunch of brunettes. Go figure. It's Chris Burnett, not to be confused with brunette, but Chris Burnett, and we all know Bernie. Yes. Bernie's the life of the party. Shot o'clock, and he plays for that other band. What are they called again? Something Suplex.
Suplex 3?
Sorry, Figure 4. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we all know what Bernie brings to the table.
Yeah,
awesome drummer, fun guy. Bass guitar, Jay Davies, been on the scene forever. And bringing the thunder. And on guitar, he's one of a kind. Andy James,
yes.
Mr. Andy James.
He is definitely one of a kind.
He's our Ace Frehley for sure.
One of the coolest mofos out there.
He really is. Yeah. He's our resident Gendalian.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you go over the details again, because we're going to need reservations for this show.
Yeah, Chip&CHARLIE'S is highly suggesting reservations. I don't think you can get in without a reservation, but I do have a phone number here. 371-3428 is the number to get your reservation in to see Dizzy Rex New Year's Eve.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So quickly, Dizzy Rex, that 70s rock show.
Yeah.
Chip&CHARLIE'S.
Yes.
Sunday, December 31st, New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Call that number for reservations.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's going to be it's going to be a super kick-ass lineup of songs that you want to hear live.
Yeah, absolutely. And I strongly encourage everyone to pick up that phone and dial that number, because you don't want to get shut out, because you could get shut out. What if it fills up?
Yeah.
So 371-3428, call Chip&CHARLIE'S and make that reservation. Get your people together, get your party together, and get everything together and make that reservation, because that 70s rock show is going to have a party in Niagara Falls New Year's Eve.
Now let's go into talking about original music. From Dizzy Rex.
Oh, this is something very cool. So, the four guys in the band definitely have a background with original material, with writing and recording. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
where we, a lot of us actually come from that first, and we pretty much knew early on that we were gonna do original material as well. That's why we have an actual band name too. Dizzy Rex is the name of the band, and what we do on the cover scene, of course, is we bring you that 70s rock show, but as Dizzy Rex, we hope to have our debut album out somewhere in the first quarter of 2024. Oh boy, there's the pressure right there.
Yeah.
So where will it have the same kind of feel, like music?
Yeah, like it's the cool thing was, so we actually debuted some of our original material when we did the Svengali show
Okay.
back in the summer,
Yeah.
which was an absolute blast.
Down at the Regency.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about, bringing it Svengali, just did it up in Sven fashion, and we were really happy to be a part of it. And we had an opportunity to, play our original material, and we did. I think we did about 6 original songs.
wow.
And a lot of folks today were coming up to us going, I know that Kiss tune, but I can't put a finger on what I've heard it before. I'm like, it's one of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a Kiss song.
Matter of fact, the 5 other songs you probably thought you heard before, you probably haven't, and they were
Yeah.
ours. And
Well, that's cool.
it's, what's cool about that? There's nothing wrong with familiarity.
Yes.
No, it's almost
like-
a compliment to have the band compared to Kiss. to have
It's
that music
really,
compared to
we
where
felt
people-
cool about
Yeah.
that. And, and Aerosmith came up too, like, we got a couple numbers with some slide guitar and, really nasty blues, hard rock. And yeah, the material is really in line with what you'd see us do in terms of our cover show. It doesn't deviate,
Yeah.
it's not, you won't go, oh, what's this? You know what I mean? It's like this radical left turn,
Yeah.
It's not. It's we definitely we're wearing our influences on our sleeves, and I think that's a good thing, really.
I absolutely do. That's what I love about every band that you perform in. You've been doing this a long time. How long have you been doing this? Because I think
man.
at least 20 years. Like,
Well,
I've seen you around 20 years. I know you
it's-
probably don't want to give your age away, but I am trying to say that this is an experienced musician right here, sitting
Yeah,
right here. Like, this
absolutely.
man knows his music.
I always joke around if someone asks me how old I am, I say I'm older than everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes. But that's the experience that brings the noise to the stage.
hey,
Yeah.
we do what we can,
Yeah.
Do you think the familiarity of these other bands with your new original music is a positive addition or a bit of a hindrance to getting new listeners?
Like, are you talking in terms of the original material?
Yeah.
I think so. What we do, and we really, to be honest, haven't played the original material much live yet. What we're going to probably do, coming up is we'll probably do 3 songs off the record at a live cover show, and we'll space them out. So we're not gonna. If we're doing that 70s rock show and we're going to sneak in a DIZZY REX original, we're not going to do 6 in a row.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to do one sandwiched in between 2 massive 70s hits.
Yeah.
So
Now,
but-
when you're doing that, are you judging, the audience, how the reaction is, or are you just going with it because it's rock and roll and that's how we do things?
I think, we'll try to be as choosy as possible. I
Yes.
think we're going to really, I think we have an idea in our heads of what song we love. All the songs so far that we've worked up.
Yes.
But we're thinking there's 2 or 3 that are probably, I don't know if you want to call singles or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Feature tracks maybe. But
What is the wording nowadays?
especially, at the independent level, if you haven't got, a deal,
Yeah.
let's say, you're going to put material out there now, of course, with the streaming media, and, we're going to hope to shoot some videos as well.
Yeah.
We have a whole thing kind of that we're working out right now for that stuff too,
Oh.
which is really cool.
Yeah. So there may be a couple on New Year's, a couple of that you can throw in there.
I'm not
or do you check
sure.
the temperature of the room? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the only thing. Like, so with DIZZY REX, and of course we're all in other bands too. The schedule's been thick with gigs, and we've been so busy with the cover thing and the That 70s Rock Show part
Yeah.
of our program that we haven't had a chance to.
Zone
We've
in
kind of
on it.
lost track of rehearsing our original material. We have material actually we have to add to that too. So if we get a chance to rehearse 1 or 2 of them, we're we're hoping to rehearse tomorrow night, actually. So if we can rehearse a couple, you might hear a couple.
Wow,
on New
that's
Year's Eve.
interesting. You might hear a couple.
We shall see.
Couple originals from the band.
Yes,
May happen.
May
yes.
happen, and in the right time and place.
Yeah.
It'll be probably later in the show.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Yeah, and like Jay said, feel the temperature out, and
yes,
if it feels right, we'll do
if it feels
I
right.
definitely think that it's a smart way to go, because it's when you're trying to introduce original music to a cover band crowd.
Yeah.
It's easier to sprinkle them in so that they don't notice, but they feel so familiar, like they've heard them before, that they want more.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing was sometimes say for instance with this going back to this Svengali show, we thought we made it pretty widely known that hey, look, we're coming out there, and this show isn't about that 70s rock show. This is Dizzy Rex, And we played a couple of the covers that we do. But the rest of it was predominantly our original material, because it was the perfect platform to do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You're opening for Svengali, and you're playing with all these other really excellent original recording acts. Why would we come out there and not take the opportunity to do our original material as well?
Yeah.
So
and it almost
sense.
seems more fitting for you're opening up for Svengali to do originals as opposed to coming out and do some covers.
100%.
Yeah.
The guys really were encouraging. I was in regular communication with David, and he's like, "Yeah, man. Like, obviously, an opportunity to
shine,
to fire out the new original material. Do it, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so we did. And to be honest, with the original material, I think it will be predominantly at those kinds of gigs.
Right.
If we're going to open for a national act, we'll obviously be full on Dizzy Rex.
Yeah, for sure. Your music, the band's music.
Yes.
So let's get to some more questions now, flipping over to another band, Hired Guns.
Hired Guns. My goodness. Where do I start with that?
Yeah, you didn't ask your question.
Yeah.
Well,
ask me a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that would be good.
That would help. Yeah.
Because if you just let me start.
with all this stuff going, with all with the Dizzy Rex stuff, does that put Hired Guns on the back burner for a little bit, or will there be some new stuff, or what's going on?
Hired Guns has been on the back burner since Hired Guns was anything. Hired Guns, this isn't necessarily a slag or a negative. It's just that Hired Guns was a recording project. With that project, even with the recording of the album, so for instance, the band Hired Guns, if you want to call us a band, we never counted in a song together. Not once.
Oh, wow.
We never did pre-production rehearsals or anything. The songs were all put together in the studio. The plan was for it to ultimately be a live band.
Yeah.
But the way events worked out, we knew it would be easier to just go in and do session after session and just piece it together in the studio. I had the players to be able to do that. You know,
so does that mean will there be any new music in the maybe future? Have you guys talked about it?
It could just very well wind up being that it was a project.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay.
But it would have to be the right time, and it would have to fit everybody's life. The disappointment with Hired Guns was, we tracked the album. It was all done. Everybody was excited about it, and it felt good and whatnot. And but a few of the guys figured that they wouldn't be able to fit, that project in as far as going out and doing live gigs, and Hired Guns would of course it was strictly, the record, an original act. So our gigs would be strictly going out and doing, gigs with other acts or opening up for other acts, and
Yeah, it's hard to
You know.
coordinate
Yeah.
when you got all these people in the band. It's hard to
I know.
and they're all in other bands.
well, and that's it, right? That's where it's, I don't know what the term is, band band.
Let me think, but yeah.
There's a bunch of us, that are kind of like circulating around this little
it's like
orbit.
a web. When you perform in a bunch of different bands and you have dates and you're on the road, it's hard to squeeze in your project. But that's a great project that's available on all the platforms, and that's all originals that I love as well.
Yeah. We, as far as Higher Guns goes, we were, pretty pleased with the results, and and as Jay said, it's on the main platforms, Spotify, iTunes, on YouTube has all the album art videos. TuneCore, our distributor, made album art videos for all the songs.
Yeah, I highly suggest that you check out Hired Guns.
Well, I want to get to some more of that music.
Okay.
But first, we're going to recap Sunday.
Yeah.
Mike, I want to let you do the honors.
Well, Sunday, New Year's Eve, Dizzy Rex bringing that 70s rock show to Chip and Charlie's here in Niagara Falls. And we have a killer set list mapped out for you guys, and we're bringing some extra production elements to the show as well. So
it sounds like it's going to be beefed up, and what better way to kick in 2024 by listening to some good old 70s classics.
Just sounds right.
Yeah, you want to make reservations, so Jay, give them that phone number.
371-3428. Contact Chip and Charlie's. Drop in at the bar. Do what you got to do, but make your reservation because it's going to fill up there because this band, Dizzy Rex and the 70s Rock Show, has a strong following, and I'm not saying it. I know you're humble about it, but
fans.
Yes.
Great people in the band.
Yes, so this is going to fill up quick, so I suggest that you make your reservation early, like, today or tomorrow. Before New Year's Eve, not wait till New Year's Eve because it may be sold out. Yeah.
Exactly. So, please thank Mike for being here.
Absolutely. I love when Mike Markarian starts in. He's
Thank you so much.
Hey,
my
guys.
favorite frontman in Niagara. Well, I probably should politically say one of my favorite, my top 5,
I've got to fit out the door, guys.
That's right. Yes.
But thanks, guys. Thanks so much for having me. It's always fun coming down and visiting you guys here.
Thank
got
you for giving
view
up
of
hockey.
Chrysler Avenue right here. It's great.
It's a beautiful view, and we will have the view of Lundy's Lane on New Year's Eve, baby. Because, Chip and Charlie's is going to be the place to be in Niagara Falls.
So let's get to some more Hired Guns.
Right.
A nice little ballad, Fly with the Angels.
Yes.